running somewhere in the neighborhood of a football field every 100 minutes, which is just a remarkable statistic.
He won a couple of Big West titles when this program was in the Big West. This year they are playing as an independent. Folks are continuing to file in.
The problem is this part of our coast particularly isn't receiving U7.
The permanent seats hold 31,000. As you can see, they're already starting to fill up the bank on the left. And as the
Louisiana has lost an area greater than the Grand Canyon.
But the folks here in the swamp are ecstatic. And 2 times during this drive, they converted on fourth
is
down,
still sinking.
including the touchdown play.
Unless something is done, the easy will slip beneath the sea, with or without a touchdown.
Roll left, go end zone, touchdown. From Cajun Field in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Big light shining on me, covered in brilliant red, blood rushing down my sleeve, New Orleans Saints on the sheets. Brewster, let's get to bed, precious boy and his dreams. Go on, tell me the truth, am I everything you envision? Do you believe in me to achieve more than just ambition? When he was still around, surpassing every expectation, did he live in the shadow of his own creation? 2 minutes, let the clock run down. Where is he? 'Cause we need him now. I know the jigs up, they've been counting on me. 2 minutes, let the clock run down. Where is he? 'Cause we need him now. It's what I dreamed of, they're all counting on me. The world underneath his cleats, the game's behind him now, floating down Congress Street, from boy to a memory. He ran out of the past into eternity. Even horizon passes, it seals off all other data. The only key we have into the Alpha and Omega. The story sees the city filled with wild imaginations. A boy like one of us, breaking all limitations. 2 minutes, let the clock run down. Let the clock run down. I promise that I'll make you proud. I know Amelia, she's been counting on me. 2 minutes, let the clock run down. Stay here, they need you around. It's what I dreamed of, they're all counting on me. They're all counting on me. They're all counting on me. I know they're counting on me. Let the clock run down. Really, because we need him now. I know that Jesus, they've been counting on me. 2 minutes, let the clock run down. Really, because we need him now. It's what I dreamed of, they're all counting on me.
You might already know about Rookie. Some people say he was born in the swamp, raised by a family of alligators and nutria rats until he was old enough to go to school. Some people say, well, he wasn't born at all. One day he just ran up out the waters of the Louisiana Delta already fully grown. Some people say if you're on Congress Street, you can actually see an imprint on the road where he dropped the ball as he ran off the field into the history books. So they say, so they say. What's true and what's myth? It's hard to know. Cajun Field, of course, is gone now, and all of his teammates are long graduated, dispersed throughout the state and the country. But the record books are still there. 1,971 receiving yards and 17 touchdowns. You might not know much about football, but it's not just good for UL. It's probably one of the best seasons for a wide receiver in college football history. And the city is still around. Most of it, anyways. But as far as concrete proof that he existed, that he walked up and down the Lafayette streets just like you and me, there's honestly not much left. But if you're of a certain age, there's no forgetting that night, the night the goalpost came down. And everybody that you ask about Rookie will tell you something, but it'll all be a little bit different. So, if you want the pure facts of the matter, that's something I could tell you. It's November 25th, 2006, Cajun Field. Ragin' Cajuns versus Texas A&M Aggies, who's ranked number 3 in the country. UL doesn't even have a good record, but they have arguably the best player in college football. That's Rookie. Even still, UL's projected to lose big. But it's late in the fourth quarter. There's about a minute left. UL has the ball and they're only down 5, and they're driving. Rookie's had a great game. He's the only reason they're still in this game, and he's the one that's really getting them down the field, so they're just getting him the ball any way they can. And you could tell there's something different about the air on this night. I don't think people knew exactly what was going to happen, but they could feel something because, you know, in Louisiana, football is not just football. It means something a little bit more than that. So UL finally gets down to the goal line. There's time for 1, maybe 2 more plays. They hike the ball. Quarterback drops back to pass. And who do you think catches the game-winning touchdown? No time left on the clock to knock off the number 3 ranked team in the country. Cajun Field goes crazy. Fans rush the field. They rip the goalposts right out of the ground, and they carry them straight out the stadium. But what nobody realized in the moment is that Rookie caught the touchdown. He ran out the back of the end zone. He ran off the field. He ran up the tunnel. He ran out in the parking lot. He ran down Congress Street. He kept on running after that. And he was never seen again. So that's what happened factually. But it doesn't really capture the full story. It doesn't capture the legend of Rookie. What he meant to so many people from Acadiana. What he meant to me. People say on that night, he ran from Cajun Field all the way to the Louisiana Delta, and he just kept on running into the water. Other people say he never stopped, and he's still running. And if it's a quiet morning, you can hear him. But that's just what they say. And to my knowledge, nobody's ever tried to tell the full story, to tell it as it felt, not just exactly how it was. So I don't know if it'll be 100% complete, but this is the story. This is Rookie.
Swap should be kind of crazy. Largest crowd ever to see a game here at Cajun Field. It's a place of 631,000. It was back in 1990, 36,000.
I saw a ghost on the highway into the cosmic American dream. I slept in St. Louis to Houston and New Orleans. I stuck a knife in the cause I did it my way. I'm just trying to make it into the great constellation, placed upon the wall with the Annunciation. I heard a voice saying that I'll meet you on the other side. I threw my hands up because you know I'm so afraid to die. I read the Christians on the license plate. They stayed embedded in the wreck of my brain. And when I get there, I know I'll be okay. I got it made, I got it made. I got the Christians on the license plate. They stayed embedded in the wreck of my brain. And when I get there, I know I'll be okay. I got it made, I got it made. I got. And somewhere right on that road is where the truth awaits. And my legs melt right into the street. You know, if you drive long enough, you can learn anything. And at the end of the map, you'll get the final say. Highway 90 to the city when I'm feeling like I miss you. Build a bridge over the water so the story can sing. You think that bullet's watching and that bullet got you. If you running from the past, don't let a bullet stop you. Cause it's all you got you. You put me up by the word. Heard a voice saying that I'll meet you on the other side. I threw my hands up because you know I'm so afraid. I said you know I'm so afraid you could die. I read the cursive on the license plate. It's turning better like a plane. And when I get there, I know I'll be okay. I got it made, I got it made, I got it.
Start with, he was always more than just a boy. He was a myth.
If you tell me what's the truth, I can make it real. And if you tell me what to do, I can do it you right. Run a mile in my shoes and you hit the field. If you just believe in me, I can make it alright. It's not no complicated. God can make it right. It'll take a lot to save me. Put my foot to the flame and flash it by like a star and go fast.
Maestro, maestro,
running on the elevator.
maestro, maestro,
You can stick with me, it's alright.
maestro, maestro,
Running on the elevator.
maestro, maestro,
You can stick with me, it's alright.
maestro, maestro,
Running on the elevator.
maestro, maestro,
You can stick with me, it's alright.
maestro, maestro,
Running on the elevator.
maestro, maestro,
You can stick with me, it's alright. stick with me, it's alright.
Maestro, 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 maestro,
Stick with me, it's alright.
maestro, 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 maestro.
You can stick with me, it's alright.
Maestro, 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 maestro.
I mean, almost 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns. This one time he's running a deep post and the quarterback just bombed it up to him. He leaps through like 2 defenders and goes...
I got a hand on my necklace, I'm gon' run into that. I got the word on my checklist, left my state heading west. 2 days just driving through Texas, they be misspelling Brewster. Right now I don't even correct it. In every song, every note, and there's no time to hold every season, every note. But for now though, I'm in London, now we're busy. He just hopped up in the ride, and we're not coming back for a long, long time. Okay, I gotta put the burners on the world I'm right behind. I gotta get the armor up, I need a piece of one. Okay, though maybe years different, I should do it overnight. He's not coming back for a long, long time. Okay, I gotta put the burners on the world I'm right behind. Gotta get the armor up, I need a piece of one. Okay, though maybe years different, I should do it overnight. He's not coming back for a long, long time. Let's go! Just to let his life fly by. He's not coming back for a long, long time. And everything that was before now is just in his head. It takes a miracle to raise it back from the dead. Once you choose, you cannot do it, doesn't work like that. Rookie, you know once you leave, you can never come back.
I gotta put the burners on the world I'm left behind. I gotta get the armor off, I need the peace of mind. Okay, literally it's different, I should put him overnight. He's not coming back for a long, long time. Okay, I gotta put the burners on the world I'm left behind. I gotta get the armor off, I need the peace of mind. Okay, literally it's different, I should put him overnight. He's not coming back for a long, long time.
Fiddle and you get down the bowl. You kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. You dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bowl. You kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. You dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bowl. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. You dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the road. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. You dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night.
Where you're gone is not for you or me or you or me to decide. And I know it's hard to change when you're in a sportsman's paradise. Where you're born is not for you or me or you or me to decide. And I know it's hard to change, but girl, you gotta let me know. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Sun was out and we had nothing to do. Yeah, place you know. It ain't perfect, but you call it home. And you're about to let it go. So leave yourself behind. Just leave yourself behind. You're in a sportsman's paradise. So leave yourself behind. Just leave yourself behind. You're in a sportsman's paradise.
David Hochkeppel.
Gun is not for you or me or you or me to decide. And I know it's hard to explain, but you're in a sportsman's paradise. Where you're born is not for you or me or you or me to decide. And I know it's hard to change, but girl, you gotta let me know. Where you're gone is not for you or me or you or me to decide. And I know it's hard to explain, but you're in a sportsman's paradise. Where you're born is not for you or me or you or me to decide. And I know it's hard to change, but girl, you gotta let me know.
If I'm going to get any further in this story, there's a few things that you got to understand about football. College football and the NFL are, yes, both football, but they're really two different beasts. The main thing that separates them is the size of each league and what that entails for the game. So the NFL has 32 teams, and on any given Sunday, any one of these teams could beat another one. Yes, like any sports league, there are really good teams and there are really bad teams, but generally speaking, there is parity. Good teams have checks on them to prevent them from becoming too dominant, and bad teams have ways to get better. In Division I college football, there are currently 134 teams. This means that the way the league is set up is pretty fundamentally different, and I'm sure that you can see how large of a gap there is between the best team in college football and the worst team in college football. And there's not many ways to get better. There's too many other factors at play, right? It's not a league that necessarily has a vested interest in parity. So while the vast majority of NFL teams start their season thinking they can win it all, that's just not true for college football. So as a result of that, there are 2 to 3 games on each team's schedule that are essentially this exchange. A big program, think Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, goes to a college with a much smaller program and says, hey, we know you guys are a small school, you have a small program, and you don't necessarily have the money that we do, so how about this? Let's play a game against each other. You guys get some money from the increase in revenue that you naturally get from playing in such a big school, and in turn, we are going to destroy you. We are going to destroy you probably 63-0, and you're just going to have to deal with it, basically. And the reason I bring this up is because this was the type of game that UL was playing that night. It was not really a game set up to be fair. These are the kind of games that you just have to preemptively accept and then quickly move on from after you get 8 touchdowns scored on you. I mean, this A&M team was ranked 3rd in the country. They had one of the best recruiting classes in college football history up until that point. Had so many 5-star recruits on both sides of the ball. Some of them were not even starting. And they were undefeated heading into Cajun Field that night. So I could tell you that in this game, Rookie had 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, that he caught 2 4th down conversions. But it's never going to tell you the full story because it's about more than just football at a certain point. We all face adversity. We are all born into a set of circumstances that we wish we could overcome, that we could transcend so we could become something more than whatever we were supposed to be. And many of us never will. So to watch him, in this moment in particular, catch this game-winning touchdown, it's so beautifully, obnoxiously fake. the small school upsetting the big program, David knocking off Goliath, and the hometown hero being the one to do it. This is a moment from another world, one where cycles close and stories end, where there are heroes and the heroes win. A moment like this has no business in our world.
That's Mr. What's It to You, and he knows everything. He'll ask you where you're going, he won't ask where you've been. Well, I've been in the forest, I'm not sure where to go. Been thinking about taking a walk and lying in the snow. Take your eyes off the wheel, look at me time and time again. Didn't you know that I was never one of your friends? The sun setting so quickly, time is never on your side. You might die while in the moment, but nobody really lost you. That's Mr. What's It to You, and he knows everything. He'll ask you where you're going, he won't ask where you've been. So when your wallet's empty, he might lend you a hand. So when you get lost, regret the time you spent. That's not the plan, I'm just praying I don't lose my head. I'll end up there, and I promise I'll be back by 10. Life is too great, get out the car with something that I can. I'll let you know, it's almost a story. I rip out the pages, their life is so boring. They were somewhere vacant, they must be so lonely. All about the baby, I'm your little baby, I'm your little baby. What's it gonna take to get away? You feel this way, do you even care how late it is? What entered your head to make you sweat? You feel this way, do you even care for your safety? Just keep walking down the road, nobody's gonna call you. The truck nearly hit me, but I wasn't out of luck. Yeah, the sun's setting so quickly, time is never on your side. You might die while in the moment, but nobody really lost you.
I'll end up dead. And I promise I'll be back by 10. Life is too great. Get out the car with something that I care. But you know. That he's gone forever. Rookie boy on the sidelines. Here's a hope and he's gone to heaven. If he ever leaves my mind. Summer mornings I feel him with me, running through southern skies. All the blood in his teeth, oh, he had something that they couldn't see. It don't matter 'cause of me. He was a full 5 stars. I could have made a masterpiece, I couldn't quite start. I feel him running after me. I was but 2 steps on the path. Well, we thought he'd be home by now, but he's not coming back. And I'm worried I'll be stuck forever, just catching up to the timeline. And when I'm finally back in the present, I'll be so far behind. And early mornings I know that he's with me, 'cause I've watched him run through the mud and southern blood. Even when she talked to me, I've thought about him every day. It don't matter what they say. He was a full 5 stars. I could have made a masterpiece, I couldn't quite start. I feel him running after me. I walk but 2 steps on the path. Well, we thought he'd be home by now, but he's not coming back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. When you get to wherever you're going, call me. I'll be waiting at the end of the line, oh. And if you wanna see me one more time, call me. I'll be with you till the end of the line, oh. And if you could be the one who survives, you'll find the stars up above, shining like stadium lights. And I'll be right there with you soon as you get said hey, and every second was everything to me. I had to tell you you're a full 5 stars. A full 5 stars. I could have made a masterpiece. I couldn't quite start. A feeling running after me. I love the 2 steps on the crowd. Well, we thought he'd be all by now, but he's not coming back. I know 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 he's not coming back. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. No, 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 he's not coming back. He's not coming back. Inside the Superdome, folding hands until they turn to stone. The things I used to love just float around me like a ghost. I'm on like 10 hidden notes, 05 thinking of me, I know it. I made the plan when I was 15. I can see him smiling on me, my brother. He felt it all so heavily. If he's listening, let him know that I miss him. Growing like Vietnam memory. She let on me, why does it make a difference? Wanna love me, but I had to brush it to the side. Maybe your shoes from the city, I wanna change my mind. But I feel the first time that I got it right. Maybe your shoes from the city, I wanna change my mind. Got bad luck, she can't even hop in the right now. Maybe your shoes from the city, I wanna change my mind. Take off for a few years just to come right back. Maybe your shoes from the city, I wanna change my mind. Houston girls, how it goes down. Atlanta girls, how it goes down. New Orleans girls, how it goes down. Something more than me calling me home. Eyes light up the trees when I'm alone. I'm reliving what happened on the phone now. If you're looking for God, he's deep inside the 504. First kiss my lips in the teeth. Brushing up until my guns bleed all over. Another one still thinking of me. Crying out thought she could ever do what I told her. I went from boy to a memory. I grew past the fit to an instant. I swear she was embarrassing me. She let me know how to make a difference. I wanna love me, but I had to brush her to the side. Now maybe she was from the city, I wanted to change her mind. Got back here on the first time that I got it right. Or maybe she was from the city, I wanna change her mind. Got bad luck, she can't even open the right. But maybe she was from the city, I wanna change her mind. I'd take off for a few years to come right back. Or maybe she was from the city, I wanna change her mind. I couldn't go back if I tried. Oh, it's just a moment in time you can only have once in a life. Oh no, I couldn't go back if I tried.
I always wonder what it would actually be like to run from Cajun Field to the Delta. If it's even possible for one person and their own 2 legs to cover that much distance. For Rookie, it wasn't a distance that could even be measured in physical miles. It was wider. It's the distance between this plane and another one, from Cajun Field to infinity. At the edge of the earth, it says, "Welcome. You have reached the southernmost part of Louisiana, gateway to the Gulf." It's just dirt and water after that. I guess everything else is as well. I think there's one more thing that you should know about football, which is why people actually like it in the first place. People don't like football because they want to see grown men play dress up and pat each other on the butt or whatever. And I don't think that people like football because they want to be part of one group that can beat up on another group. And I think at a certain point, deep down, people don't even really care if their team wins or loses. I mean, how many of you guys think the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl this year? Be honest. What actually goes on is much more like love, or even like faith. When I put on a jersey and go to the game, the team may win, the team may lose, but I'm showing my support unconditionally. I'll show up for you. I'll wear your clothes. It could be one of those days that you get beat 56-7, but I'm still going to be watching. There's a willingness to give yourself over to something that you can't control, and to admit that no matter what distance you need me to cross, I will.
I always liked wildlife, I always liked the outdoors, but I was used to mountains and clear water and streams like that. And I'd been out in the Rockies chasing bighorn sheep for about 2 years when one of my stock photo agents asked me if I had some pictures of bayou pigeon for a Time Life book called The Bayous that was just about to come out. And he figured since I lived here, I would have it. Well, I've never been in the Chapel except crossing up Highway 190. So I called him and said I'd go out and shoot it. He said, well, the deadline's tomorrow, so you don't have time to get your film developed. Well, I decided to go anyway, so I drove around the entire Chapel Island. It took me 3 days. And I said, boy, I gotta get the boat to get out there. So I got my canoe and started paddling around. And it was just like a wilderness paradise.
Thinking of her from over the ocean. kick of the dirt, she said, years in emotion. As long as she's here, there will always be somewhere to go. Though the end of the earth is slowly approaching, I'm thinking of him holding still like a portrait. His cuts on his back, he's as strong as a fortress. His words like a blur, he can never say what he means. The blood on his hands glowing red like a potion. He's looking for her as she comes into focus. His breath's in the air and the tension is potent. A memory's there, but he can't remember well. But if it's about her, then it must be important. I'm thinking of her from over the ocean. I'm thinking of her from over the ocean. I'm thinking of her from over the ocean. It's such a big, big world. I'm thinking of her from over the ocean. Until I'm the ground underneath her, she'll be with me all my life. 10,000 miles just to see her. Silver clouds through rays of light. The wind carries my voice to seek her. Soaring over the state lines, praying that one day I can reach her. Oh, but the west still seems so wide, and somehow I knew she'd be there, just standing under southern skies. I wish I came more prepared now. It's so hard to get things right. The years that I have don't seem fair. To know her needs way more time. The years that I have don't seem fair. To know her needs way more time. thinking of her from over the ocean. I'm thinking of her from over the ocean.
And I've crossed that bridge. But, God, that's beautiful.
So we'll come out to the 20-yard line where the Raging Cajuns will put it in play, and I think it's Bucky if you put it out. Staying away from the ill-advised passes. Ill-advised plays. Key here. A lot of time left. Here's he is a
Let the Delta carry me out when it's time to head back to make her above. When they finally set me free, I'm so glad it was you who was on my team. I'm feeling far too great to pass for love. When my name gets called, a trumpet and sound. It's hard knowing you can't always be there for me. And I'd make the coast my grave, but it's losing football fields each day. Is it really so bad to become nothing? 'Cause I believe in a love that's waiting for me. To have that faith that takes strength when you're going in blind. I believe that it's love that's waiting for me. They'll have things of this life. That night the goalposts came crumbling down. They made the great advance, I'm married to the end zone. And you threw the ball for me, but it's always just beyond my reach. Arms still outstretched when the sands of time blow. Let the game plan play itself out. Long drives to the city in search of lost time. They say it's no place to be, but it sure does feel like home to me. Louisiana is where I live and I die. 'Cause I believe in a love that's waiting for me. To have that faith, it takes strength when you're going in blind. So I believe that it's love that's waiting for me. 'Cause what else is there when you hear that? Let the Delta carry me out. 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 Let the Delta carry me out.
With that note, we'll take a break. Bucky and I'll be back with some final thoughts from Lafayette.
The official stance on Rookie is that he is still missing. Most people think that he has passed on, but it's true that you can't say for certain. Every once in a while, usually a little kid, will say that they saw a boy run past them wearing a UL jersey, always wearing number 1 and soaking wet. Most people don't believe that, but hey, maybe it means something. His statue's still standing outside the stadium, and third graders at Myrtle Place still chant his name when they jump rope. The question that gets asked most often is, why did he run away? And I really can't give you an answer, because I don't know. You can't know. But I think my rebuttal question would be, if you did know, what would it change? When I think of him, I only think about what he did when he was here, the hope that he gave me. And that feeling will always exist. Because I think really, everything around you, it just comes and goes. There's no more Cajun Field. It's Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium, which I don't think rolls off the tongue quite as well, but I digress. But really, it's going to be an even better stadium than it was before. The Louisiana coastline is getting torn up as we speak, but supposedly the Mississippi River one day will have eventually dumped so much sediment into the delta that might actually get a whole new parish. And of course, all of Rookie's teammates have graduated, but the past few years of UL football have actually seen the best teams they've ever put together, and have gotten ranked inside the top 25 ourselves a few times. It's not easy. New houses go up, old restaurants come down, melodies get reused, so on and so on. The big game keeps playing. We're all going to have to leave the field eventually and run up into that tunnel, into the big unknown. But I know for me at least, as long as my heart's still beating, as long as my legs are still churning, till that final whistle blows, it's still football night in America.
Well, I'm coming home again, just give me a moment. I checked in the flight, no, I'll be there in the morning. My dad on the phone again, oh, here he goes again, talking about his fantasy football opponent. As long as he's doing fine, no reason to worry. He's tall like a cypress, growing through the dirt. See, I've been trying to mind how he became who he's supposed to be. He's taking a long time, I know I gotta hurry. I know, gotta hurry. I'm in a hotel on the west coast, looking for the soft light appears to light up the screen. Oh, touch.